All right. So now if we take the journey and if we say that the the user lands on the home page here. Let's put these out. So we have decide. Just quickly delete this here. So we have decide. This is going to be our first column. Then decide, the decision is going to be higher, larger than trust, right? And then there's going to be another part. Okay. And then we're going to have trust. And then we're going to have convert. My intuition tells me that I should put already on the home page, I should already put the two App Store logos, but we can just skip it for now. Maybe we can find a cooler way to have the customer journey. So the user or potential user lands on our homepage, and then it needs to decide. And then we have to see how and what do we need to do in order for it, so we can start selling some trust in their decision making. So if they land on our homepage, their first instinct is going to be to scroll down. So one step after the hero section, we can actually put here instead of having the home page, we know that this is going to be a home page, right? And then we can actually say here that the first thing that they're going to see is the hero section. All right, and then they're going to probably start scrolling down. So my intuition here is for them to see some testimonials. And why is that? Because it's still a new app, and I'm probably gonna try to convince them by highlighting some of the experiences of other people. And then here for the testimonials, I'm probably going to be using one of my brand ambassadors. His name is Philip. He's very known in the community, and he's also a coach, right? So again, this is going to start selling some of the trust that I need to some of the new users. So when you scroll down, you're gonna look at the testimonials. Going further down, I'm probably gonna show you some of the features of the app. So we talked about these 4 cards. Let's just stick to that now. To some of these 4 things. Features or app features. And then if the person wants to read a little bit about this, then they can go on to the features page, right? So again, I scroll down, I see Philip talks about, oh my God, this app is really cool. It's so fun. I can really track it and it makes sense. Oh, okay. Well, actually, how does this work? Well, we have this AI powered logging system. Then we have this, we have that, and we have the point system. Okay. Well, if I want to convert, then the people that are interested in the first 3 features, then I'm probably going to try to push them onto the features page, and and get them to read more about how some of these features they work, right? Moving down, if not, alternatively, I'm going to have a picture of myself here, and I'm gonna write to a couple of things about me, and then if not, then the other conversion part can happen on the about page, right? Like, okay, who is this guy? Why is he doing this? What are his motivation? Blah blah blah. And probably and that's it. Do I really want to show more? What else is important here? Let's go back and look. Yeah, so we're on the conversion lane here. The point system, we kind of got that, but that's not a conversion part. We talked about the 4 features of the MVP. We talked about myself. Okay, what else could be important for some of these clients that I have? Again, they're cosmopolitan. Yeah, so perhaps this is a good thing to also think about and debate. Should the website be in Danish or English, right? I would say both, because first of all, I'm an expat as well, and even though they are less sort of non-Danes in all of the classes that I go to, I can see that the people that are non-Danish speaker, they need a bit more attention, because sometimes they don't really understand what's going on. They don't understand the explanations. And generally, if you're a non-Danish speaker, that means that you probably moved to Denmark, so you're craving for more interactions with people, right? And I think it's important that we facilitate that as well, right? Okay, cool. So this is also not important. Then it's going to have both a Danish and an English part. Perhaps this is not important for the information architecture, but it's a good decision to sort of think about and decide on this now. All right, what else could it be? They're hardworking. Okay, so perhaps another aspect that we can start thinking about here is about what is the ratio of images versus text, right? So what's the ratio of show and tell? And then on the websites that we just looked before, the imagery was quite strong, but it served more as a decor. I didn't really see. So when we looked at the Sugar VOD, they did have some screen captures of their box management systems, but other than that, sort of all of the background pictures and all of these things, they were purely decorative. So I would actually say there's not a lot of show on the websites, but it's going to be important for me because I want to show sort of the functionality of the app, right? So on these features, I'm probably going to want to have some screen capture GIFs that show how the AI works, or something very similar, right? And again, this actually might help me. This might be useful in this conversion part. Good. Now, I kind of have everything mapped out. I would say, how can we go from from trust to another level of trust. Now, the question here is, do we need 2 steps to trust, or can we say that after they've read the features, or they read something about me, the trust is actually there? It's hard to know, and the beauty of doing this workshop is that you can find a customer journey now. You can test it out, and this is why we're going to be using Clarity, where it's going to clearly show where do your users click, right? So you can do a workshop like this, implement it onto your website, give it a go for 2-3 months, and then if it doesn't work, then try to see if you can change this process that you have right here. So for this scope, I'm going to say that after going through the features and about, I'm probably going to have some CTAs, which means calls to action, on these pages, and then I'm going to push them to conversion. And the conversion is going to be a separate, so I have to find a separate component only for the App Store buttons. And what I'm thinking is that this App Store buttons is going to be on the should be either on the home page. Yeah, it's probably going to be on the home page. It's either going to be on the home page or on the features, right? But the feature already contains the link to it, so it's probably going to be here, right? This conversion is going to be the apps logos as well. Cool. So now we kind of have, I know it's a bit messy, but hopefully this makes sense, or I'm more than happy for some positive feedback, and then we can go through another example together in the next session. All right. And now I sort of have both the customer journey, and I have an idea about the information architecture, meaning what information will be disclosed in which component. So lastly, now I kind of have a sitemap. My sitemap is going to be very, very easy. So it's going to be, go away. So my sitemap is going to be very easy. I'm going to have a home page. Then I'm going to have features. I'm going to have a point system. And then I'm going to have an about page. So very, very simple, 4 pages. Good. The sitemap is there. So now we have an initial idea of sort of the information architecture. We kind of know what components should be, sort of what information should be in some of these parts as well. But maybe a better way to do to sort of define the information architecture better would be after we do a wireframe, or we can develop them in parallel. So for the wireframe of my website,